is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Phones and Drones. So I wanted to put together this video for you guys to talk about my first 1,500 miles with my Model 3. It has been an amazing experience. For those of you that have never been in a Model 3 and have been thinking about some sort of EV vehicle, you have got to do yourself a favor and go test one out. Before I even get into this, make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below letting us know what your thoughts are on the new current state of Tesla and the Model 3 specifically. We know 2020 is going to be a huge year for Tesla with all of their Cybertruck stuff coming out and being more finalized as a product. And then also obviously the Model Y coming out, possibly even early in this first quarter of 2020. Having said all that, thanks for helping us and subscribing to the channel. If you guys are actually thinking about getting a new Model 3, make sure to use our referral link or any Tesla in general so we can both get 1,000 free supercharging miles. Now, with all that to the side, how has my first 1,500 miles been with this vehicle? So a little background. I have a 2019 Mercedes CLA 250. My wife has a 2018 Santa Fe Sport. So we are from, ICE vehicles. This is our first EV, and it is a night and day experience. It's really, really cool. And again, you can't compare apples to apples unless you've been in one. You hear about all the dilemma and range anxiety and all that, but put all that to the side, and this has been a phenomenal experience, guys. I definitely recommend you checking it out. I'll throw up some clips in here as well in the video to show you kind of the walkthrough of the car and what to expect if you've not been in one before. But a couple of things in those first 1,500 miles. I've gotten now 4 software upgrades just since the beginning of December. So I've only had this car for right around a month now. And Tesla really does steadily push out upgrades, which is phenomenal. I think the current one I'm on right now is 40.50.7. And obviously the new 40.50 really gave you that visual full self-driving preview. It does nothing, to be honest with you, but shows you on the display what the car is aware of seeing. But it still won't stop for you on stoplights or stop signs in that matter. So keep in mind, this car is improving over time. I have never had a vehicle that actually gets better after you drive it off the lot. Usually you take it off the lot, it depreciates, obviously. What you have is what you get. But you see they're coming out with for at least the dual motors or long range drive models, a $2,000 performance boost, which is phenomenal. I have the standard range plus. I'm sorry I didn't clarify that for you guys earlier. And there's no telling what will be next. Yes, they just made the 4G subscription, the LTE in the car, a monthly subscription for $9.99 a month. This has been known for a while. We knew it was coming. It finally just took effect starting this month in January. So yes, if you get a standard range, it's not included. You're not getting your year of service. But for $10, what you get with the live satellite maps and also the navigation with the traffic awareness, take what you want. You do have your streaming music, which is what a lot of people will want it for itself. I think it's worth it. I personally subscribed, but to each its own. So aside from that, their model is always changing. So keep that in mind. Tesla's pricing right now could be different in a week from now. The paint pricing has changed like by $500 just since I purchased my Midnight Silver Metallic. So their structure is always changing. This year, actually as of 4 days ago, is the first time Teslas do not qualify for the tax credit. So keep that in mind as well. It was just that, I believe, right around $1,800. It's gone. So some new EVs that'll be coming around will probably offer that. So that is one thing to keep in mind as well. But aside from that, sometimes local electric providers for your houses will provide some sort of rebates. Like we're in Florida, JEA specifically gives you a $1,000 rebate for installing a home charger and having an EV. So take that what you want. It's some sort of write-off, I guess, at the end of the day anyway. Now, having said all that, the one downside I have had is how Tesla really does rate its miles. So we're rated for 250 miles, and that is in ideal, warehouse conditions. That's not real to life. You're not going to get 250 miles out of this car. That is one of my biggest regrets, not knowing. So make sure you make yourself a little better aware of that. I was thinking I'd get at least close to that, maybe not that exact 250 mile figure, but you're not even getting close to that. Usually you're around 220. They say if you keep your watts or whatever, your WH per mile under 240, you should average that. It's not happening. There's too many factors into play: your weather, your wind, your tire pressure. There's just your driving habits. There's too many factors to take into account. So without rambling, that is one huge downside. Would I purchase that exact model again? Probably not. I would have to say for regular road trips, even just going, 200 miles away, you're going to need a charge. It'll be helpful having that long range drive, get the extra 50 or 60 miles that come with it. So you're going to get that 250 range. I personally average about 222 to 230 WH per miles right now after driving it 1,500 miles. So I'm not even, flooring it every chance I get. I'm trying to be conscious of driving, but you're just not getting that full range. I am averaging right around probably 200 miles on a full charge. So take that for what you want. I regret not getting that longer range model. But again, I did personally lease this. So taking into account what my experience is with this car in a few years, I will definitely purchase another Tesla Model 3, and I would get a long range model and probably a performance one on top of it. Now, the performance alone on the Standard Range Plus is great. There's no downside. You feel super safe in it. There's a reason these cars are rated as your top safety pick. We got a little 3-year-old, and safety is obviously important in our decision to get this. So if you guys have a family or, a loved one you usually travel around with, these cars are super, super safe. Now, again, I'm going to preach to the choir for those of you that are aware of this. Autopilot and full self-driving is not a set it and forget it. You're not going to kick back like this and be done. You do still need to be aware and keep your hands on the wheel from time to time. Don't use these stupid orange tricks that's out there where you can put an orange in the steering wheel to try to circumvent it. It's there for a reason. It's a fail-safe to make sure you're paying attention. So don't fall into that trap. But aside from that, I have had no random reboots with my car. The build quality is amazing. I've heard they've been, really fine-tuning it now in the last couple of years, and the models. You got to remember, this Tesla's only been around for about 8 years now or so, and they don't have that history of really having a full production scale for years on end, knowing how to build a car. As silly as it sounds, you're going to have defects and little somewhat nuances along the way. But I personally, at this point, have had no issues at all. You also hear about the horror stories from Tesla's customer service and delivery centers. I've had a flawless experience. I had one hiccup now. I had a tag from an old vehicle, a license plate from an old vehicle that I haven't used in a while. I brought in, I told them I want to use this on my car. So they gave me a temporary registration and a temporary plate. 30 days goes by, my tag's expiring. I still didn't have my new registration tag. I literally just called them, reached out to them, and said, hey, look, this tag's expiring tomorrow. When's my registration going to be here? They were like, I'm sorry, it's still hung up in the process. But they went ahead and overnighted me a new temporary tag for the vehicle. I never dropped a beat. I didn't have to worry about not driving my car or anything like that. The customer service has been phenomenal. And I want to give a huge shout out to the Jacksonville Center here. They have treated me perfect. Anytime I've went in, any questions I've had, phone calls, they're great. So if you've heard of horror stories, remember there's always two sides to those stories. If you treat people like junk, not saying that's what happened in the past, but sometimes you get what you give. So aside from that, guys, I don't want to ramble on this video. Phenomenal car. Stay tuned. We're going to be doing a ton of more hands-on with the Model 3, especially as full self-driving really rolls around. Also, really quick on that topic, keep in mind, the price on that full self-driving package has already skyrocketed from the original, I believe it was like $5,000 or even $3,000 offering years ago to $6,000. And then nearing the end of, I believe it was October, maybe it was November 1st last year, it's went up to $7,000 for that package. So I hear a lot of people wanting to wait. Oh, I'm not going to purchase it until, it's actually, out there and available. The longer you wait, the more you're going to pay. Tesla's always said that's part of their model. So keep that in mind. If you're really considering getting one of these vehicles, just go ahead and bite the bullet and buy the package right now. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate everything. Make sure, again, I'll throw in that referral link. Please get us both 1,000 free supercharging miles if you guys are looking at purchasing one and placing an order. Thumbs up this video, guys. Subscribe to the channel and comment down below. Are you guys excited about the 2020 year for Tesla? We'll catch you in the next one.